Nelson on the road again.mp4. Let's go, baby. We're back.
We're back.
Welcome back to Afterbite. It's a Vampire Diaries fancast, only 10 years too late. And we're back now. We took like a month-ish off. Mm-hmm. I feel refreshed. I got a cat. That's it. I literally, that's all I did in our break. I just got a cat and have just been posting cat content.
I'm just like in stress, but like ignoring the stress, you know? Like,
Very valid.
That's not happening. Like I'm not being forced to move while finals are going on. That's not happening.
Absolutely not happening. Definitely 100% A-okay.
I saw a tweet that was like, if you're living right now and you like don't know how to dissociate, like how are you living right now? I was like, yeah, same.
If you can't heavily dissociate, like stare at yourself in third person, like what are you doing, dude?
Like how are you existing right now? Like that must be hard.
I got this down. You know how I'm existing?
How?
I'm just listening to Willie Nelson on the road again.mp4.
Yeah.
On the road again.
I will be playing, by the way, like a 3-second, like the shortest bit of that song. Because we're definitely going to get copyrighted if I use more than like 4 seconds. I can, those 4 seconds though.
They're up for grabs.
On the road again.
So do you want to talk about season 2 of the Vampire Diaries?
Yes, I have a lot of thoughts. Not all of them are bad, which is weird saying that.
Also, yeah, true. Okay, so in case you forgot where we ended last season.
Because it was really fucking wild.
Forgot. The last 10 minutes of season 1 were possibly the best 10 minutes of season 1 because Damon went to go see Elena and then they kissed on the front porch and you're like, what the fuck? That's gross. And then Elena goes inside and Damon's like, fucking score. And then Elena goes inside and cuts off her Uncle John's fingers and then stabs him. That's it. And then, concurrently to all of this, Pixel, you're looking to jump up onto my desk right now. I can see it in your little kitty face. Yep, there you are. Concurrently to all this, Jeremy drinks Anna's blood and then takes a bunch of sleeping pills. Mm-hmm. So in case you forgot, we ended season 1 with, like, suicide and murder.
And also the reveal that it's not actually Elena, it's Catherine.
Also that, Catherine's back, baby. She's here and she is ready to fuck shit up.
She's really just here to cause chaos, and that's her main goal. Just causing chaos.
She's really just here to fuck shit up. So, the episode description for Season 2, Episode 1, The Return, is Elena returns home to find a mess, and Damon is the first to realize that Catherine is back. That's it.
That's a lot of understatement, huh?
But also famously understating. Like, Netflix description writers famously understate this show, but also, how do you state that correctly? Like, hey, Elena comes home to find her uncle bleeding out without a hand. Also, Damon's the first to realize that Elena's doppelganger from how many fucking millions of years ago is actually here, hot, and fucking with him. Like, how do you state that correctly?
That's, you know what, true. I'll give them props for what they did, because they're able to conceal it very well, but also, like, that's a lot of shit that went down.
Elena comes home to find out, can you stop grooming your ass right here, ma'am? She is no shit sitting She is sitting right next to my keyboard, less than a foot away from my microphone. And she's like, I'm just gonna, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna lick my ass right here in case you were wondering. I'm just gonna do it right here. So okay, Elena returning home to find a mess is, I think, the understatement of the century, because she comes home, finds Jeremy tried to commit suicide, and then John's like dying in the kitchen. Nobody else is home. It's just those two.
Where's Jenna? Oh wait, we know where Jenna is.
Jenna left. Jenna was like, actually, the vibes in this house atrocious. I'm gonna go anywhere else right now.
Jenna did not leave. She just didn't come home yet.
No, but wasn't she home because
No,
she
she
was home
wasn't
because
home.
she caught Damon and Doppel Elena Catherine on the front porch. She caught them.
Wait, then this show
And
literally
then she just
doesn't.
left.
No,
She
this
left
show.
at some point.
No, this show literally just did not just like trick my mind because I totally forgot. They said that Jenna was at the fire station, right?
Yeah, she left from the house to go talk to the fire chief for whatever fucking reason.
Oh my
Wait, no,
god.
it was because the Gilbert thing had burned down, and so she was like dealing with all that.
Yeah.
We're piecing it together as we go here, folks.
I literally thought
Welcome,
she never came home.
welcome back to Afterbite. We're puzzling out how this meticulous, shitty puzzle works, one piece at a time.
So what happened was that right. So Jenna caught Elena, and then
Mhm.
she
She
probably
caught
got like
Catherine
a
and Damon.
call. Catherine and Damon. Then she probably got a call. It was like, I have to go, leaves, and then Catherine just was like, time to kill John.
Later in this episode, she says to Elena, she's like, hey, yeah, I told you I was gonna go talk to the fire chief. And Elena's like, no, the fuck
Oh,
you did
right,
not.
right. Okay, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's,
It's all coming
listen.
back.
I know. I literally just watched these episodes today, and I'm still like, how the fuck?
No,
Hold
well, in
the
my
fuck up.
defense, I watched the first episode like a couple of days ago. So I
We're very
haven't.
professional podcast hosts for this very professional podcast. And also, my cat's attacking one of my shoes. It's great.
Oh.
We love it. She's having a good time. So, okay. They do this thing that I'm very grateful for
Mhm.
in the first, like, okay, we're just gonna start going chronologically now because if we don't, I will die.
Yeah.
So at the very beginning of this episode, they kind of do a little bit of a recap of Jeremy trying to commit suicide, Catherine cutting off John's hand, and then
Mhm.
Elena walking into the house. They do a little recap, and thank you. Honestly, thank you. Because I know this was like 10 months after the finale aired. Like, it was probably
Yeah.
fucking a while after the finale
Way
aired. Like,
way
thank you
longer
for
than
that.
way longer than we. The funny thing is, it was way longer than when we stopped watching, but also like like thank God for that because we even needed that, you know? So imagine waiting 10
Yeah.
months and then coming back and having to figure out what the heck just happened last season.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? So, Elena comes into the kitchen. She sees John, like, dying. She's like, ah, fuck. Gets an ambulance. Perfect. Love that. Good work, Elena. And then John's like, behind you. It's like, oh, shit. She sees the aura of a vampire.
Mhm.
She gets the vibes. And
That
then
a
she grabs
vampire's
a
in there.
knife. To which I ask, Elena,
What was
the
the knife
fuck you
for?
gonna do with that? Grab a wooden spoon. You kill the vampire more effectively with a pencil. A knife ain't gonna do shit,
A knife
Elena.
is just gonna make them want to drink your blood more because what's probably gonna happen is you're gonna make a misstep. You're gonna cut yourself. And then my marriage is like, great, now I have more time, more reason to kill you.
Thanks for like giving me this extra time, you know? Really evening the odds. Like seriously, Elena, though, grab a wooden spoon more than a fucking like knife. Okay. So they do the whole thing. They flash to in the hospital, where it is all of the groups kind of convening here because Caroline, in case you forgot, is in a hospital now because of the car accident because the weird vampire dog whistle affected Tyler Lockwood as well. And
Mhm.
Bonnie has an oh shit moment that I do love. So good at just her oh fuck, like oh shit, like it's a very good oh shit moment,
It's
and
kind
I
of
love
like
that.
Bonnie's like, oh, this is all my fault. And like, yeah, Bonnie, this is your fault.
Pretty much directly, Bonnie. Hey, Bonnie. Usually I'm like with you. This
But
one
this
though,
one,
I can't really abide by it. Like, hey,
sorry, I
Bonnie.
can't. Like Bonnie, I love you, but I can't excuse your mistakes.
This one is a big boo boo,
It's
Bonnie.
kind of on you, Bonnie.
And and that moment that she has in the hospital when Matt's explaining what happened is like, oh fuck. Like it's a very good oh shit moment.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah. Also, I just wanted to point out that I 100% guess what would happen later on in this episode because it was super obvious, but I won't reveal what it is until we get to that point.
Okay, shit, that's like a mystery surprise that we'll get
Yeah.
to later.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of convenes at the hospital here. Damon is here to talk with Sheriff Forbes, because Sheriff Forbes is like, all right, Deputy Damon, let's fucking go figure out who these motherfucking vampires are. And he's like, cool, great, thanks. And then she has like a good moment where she's like, this is my daughter, and she's in the hospital, maybe dying. Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And then Steph and Elena and John, by extension, kind of come in and they're all like, hey, what the fuck is going on? I know there's a lot going on with Caroline, but also my uncle got his fingers cut off. And somehow, eventually, they never talk about his fingers again, but he does get all of them back.
He does?
And I don't know how that works.
What?
Yes, in that scene where he is later, when he is leaving town, spoiler alert, for a show that came out 10 years ago, when he is leaving town, he has all of his fingers and no bandages on his hands.
No, I definitely saw bandages.
But he has all of his fingers. All of them. He got all 10 back.
You know what?
I just want to know the process.
It's like, have you ever seen there was like a documentary about this woman who like cut off her husband's or now ex-husband's dick. And basically they had to go find the dick because she had like thrown it out in the grass. They had to go like out in their lawn. They had to like go find it so that they could reattach it. Probably something like that, I would assume. Where they're
Do
like,
you
oh,
think
we have to reattach
Elena
it.
put him in like a Ziploc bag to take with the ambulance?
Yeah,
That seems like an Elena Gilbert thing to do.
yeah, you gotta put it in like a Ziploc bag with like and put it on ice. Yeah.
They just never talk about how he gets his fingers back, and I do wish somebody would have made more jokes about John Fingerless Gilbert. That's all. So Damon and Jenna both approach Elena and they're like, hey, do you remember like when we did like that thing? And Damon's like, do you remember when we like kissed? And Elena's like, no, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck? And then Jenna's like, hey, do you remember when I told you that I was going to be going to the fire chief? Like, why didn't you call me that you come to the hospital? And she was like, no, what the fuck? I don't remember that at all. And Jenna's like, yeah, you fucking do, dude. You were right there.
And then Damon's like, oh, I've seen what happened. And I kissed the wrong person.
I mean, Damon kissing any woman is Damon kissing the wrong person.
Yeah,
Let's just put that out there. He should
really
be
true.
kissing frogs.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't deserve the kiss of a woman, so.
I don't remember quite where this falls in this action sequence, but I do have a note that Damon calls out Stefan's forehead as though he has any room to talk with his boy band ass haircut. Damon, my man, with a haircut like that, you just can't, dude.
I'm sorry. A lot of Damon's face is just like, you know? Like it's like you can't see my face, but I'm doing like that like a yikes face. That's how I feel about a lot about Damon's face. So,
well, didn't we talk about at the season finale of last season? We talked about how his face is like a mask of his face worn by like a lizard person, right? Like we did talk about that. I'm not making that up. That is a thing that happened, right?
I think so.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happens on our own podcast, but I'm pretty sure we talked about how he's wearing a human mask of his face.
We just know that like he's not human.
And his emotion is cocaine, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so like that's all we know. That's all the information and facts we have about this character.
That's all we got. Damon, lizard person, wearing mask of own face. Check, check. Emotion, check. We're gonna get back to that one.
Yeah, we don't really know if he got emotions. It kind of seems like he does, but they're only emotions that are like very self-centered. Like, oh, this has to do with me, and please care about my emotions. My emotions are the most important. And I just like to say, the writers definitely are like, his emotions are important. Like like what he thinks and how he
what
like
he
thinks
feels?
about the world,
I
what
need
he
to
feels. It's like it's important, and like that definitely like plays a lot into the story. And I don't know why, because this man is annoying and problematic. So why are we giving him so much attention? I'm
Oh, but
really
it gets worse from here, Jordan.
and I just want to say like Elena same problems as last season, just like continuing to only care about his emotions and how things will affect him. And that's just really annoying writing. Bad writing. I mean, it's consistent character writing because that character
That's true. So in
definitely
a way,
does that
it's
a lot.
very good writing, but of a very shitty person and of
Yeah.
a ensemble cast that I'm like, is this who we want to focus on? Anyway, we'll roast the writers again later because there's some other stuff that we can touch on emotions later.
Yeah.
I have a note here that Matt, Bonnie, and Caroline make a very cute little squad. They're a little
Yeah.
human squad. I like them.
Not for
Little human
long.
squad
Not
for
for
now.
not for long.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's a clue for what happens later in this episode that I guess.
That's a secret clue that's gonna help us later. This is the secret item from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse that's gonna help us later. We just don't know how. So we flash to the Lockwood mansion because hey, in case you forgot, Mayor Lockwood also died, and now in a weird Highlander-esque Dread Pirate Robin situation, Carol Lockwood is now Mayor Lockwood. So we just kind of flip-flopped here.
We
And
literally just said, hey, democracy, that's not a thing.
she's like, I'll be serving as interim mayor, but then the way that she says it, you're like, oh, you're gonna rig this election.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but now we have a new Mayor Lockwood. And so from now on, when we talk about Mayor Lockwood, it will be Carol Lockwood.
Yeah.
And just rolling up to the Lockwood Manor, as cool as can be, Uncle Mason.
Oh, Uncle Mason.
Lockwood, a floppy surfer boy.
I do love him. I don't know anything about him, but I am in love with him. So.
Well, okay. For now.
Oh no.
He what's his face? Tyler doesn't really like Mason at first. They kind of have some weird vibes going on between them, and I think it'll become increasingly clear why later. Also, though, why is Tyler not at the hospital chilling with the woman that he nearly killed? Question mark.
Quite good
I know
question.
your dad's dead, but y'all can maybe like postpone a little bit. It's the next day.
Also, like, can we just talk about like how he had a bad relationship with his father? So like, why would he prefer to go to the funeral?
You know, it's weird. It's weird. Anyway, cut back to the hospital. Elena and Stefan go to talk to Uncle John, who is, surprise, surprise, still a fucking dick. Jordan,
and
your point. You have the floor.
Number one, I was surprised that he was alive. I thought they really would kill him off, and I would have been like, "Yay, he's dead!"
Yeah, I thought he'd be dead.
But he's not dead. They decided to keep him on for some reason. Whatever. But what I wanted to say was that they're talking, and Elena, Stefan, and John are talking, and they're trying to figure out who like did this to him. You know, they figure out it's Catherine.
I think they already have a suspicion that it's Catherine. They're just like,
but they're just confirming. They're confirming. And while they're talking, I don't remember exactly what John says. I think it has to do with the fact that Elena's like, you would help us out, because you're my father.
You would help out your own daughter.
And then John's like, my own daughter wouldn't be like dating a vampire. And he's just like subtly disowns Elena in that moment. And I'm like, yeah. And Elena doesn't care because number one,
you're not her dad.
You're not her real dad. And number two, you kind of suck. So she's probably happy that you no longer want to be a part of her life. And then Elena leaves and Stefan threatens him. And it kind of freaked me the fuck out. When I first saw it, I was like, wow, that's very weird for Stefan. I feel like Stefan, to me, it feels like he's like the very reserved type, at least in the first season. He's like not one to lash out. And it does seem like when he was freaking the fuck out and threatening John, it felt like we were back to party boy, Stefan.
You know what it felt like to me? Specifically the threat he made against John. So Stefan threatens John. He threatens to turn John into a vampire and then like make him hate himself for all eternity, which love that. First of all, as like threatening,
That's a
that's
very
good.
good threat.
Very good threat. And I feel like the reason he did it specifically was because John just was like, actually, fuck you, Elena. And Stefan's like, actually, no, fuck you, sir.
And
Uno reverse.
and
Let's
yeah,
put this card down. And I'm like, no, sir.
to me that makes sense. And I did also interpret it as that. I guess what I'm catching on to here is that the kind of like instability that Elena brings into their relationship for Stefan, because it seems like prior to their relationship, he's like a very like reserved person and trying to just like control himself from not eating humans and like drinking their blood.
Yeah.
And it seems like with the introduction of this relationship so far, he just is like, oh, let me show some more emotion. Let me just like act a
Let me
little
just fly
more.
off the handle real quick.
Yeah.
Y'all don't mind if I just kind of like go
And
off the
like
deep end?
and like we kind of saw a little bit of it season 1 when he he drinks blood and then just like aggressively pounds a wall that Elena
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
up against. So like it kind of felt like that. Not and like that was like not in a good way. Like I'm not angry that he threatened John. I just like felt like very uncomfortable by it, and it kind of felt like this does not look like a good path that Stefan is going down.
And you are correct. This I really actually like this moment for Stefan, and especially kind of the turn it kind of makes him have. I think this season of TVD, from what I can remember very vaguely, looking at the episode titles and everything, very good season. And I think a lot of it comes because now we are starting to see more of Stefan's dark side and more of his kind of impulsive side. If that's, well, not impulsive is not the right word, but you know what I mean, where
Mhm.
he's like, actually, you threatened somebody that I love. Get the fuck out of here. Like, hold the fuck up.
Mhm.
Uno reverse card this motherfucker.
Mhm.
That's Stefan's golden like Uno reverse card. He's just like, I'm actually gonna turn you into a vampire and then fucking kill you over and over again, which
Oh gosh.
hardcore. But I really, really like this because you're seeing more sides of Stefan, whereas season 1 is him trying to control everything, and now he's like, actually, fuck it.
Mhm.
Like, bro, I'm gonna turn you into a fucking vampire. What's up? I just like it. Anyway, I have my next 3 notes that I have for this episode are Bonnie with 3 exclamation points, Bonnie with 1 exclamation point, and then in all caps with spaces in between each letter, Bonnie. So I don't quite remember what she
Oh,
did, but also
I
like
remember
fuck
what
yeah.
happened. I
Yeah,
remember.
what's up?
All right,
Lay it on me.
so we cut back to the funeral and Catherine shows up.
Yes, I remember
And
this
they're like,
now.
and then you're like, fuck, Catherine's here. What the fuck? Ah, that's very bad. And then Bonnie, looking great by the way. Can I just say?
Always looking so good.
Looking great by the way. And she realizes that that is not Elena, it's Catherine. So then she like tries to get away from Catherine. Catherine doesn't leave her. Bonnie tries to do like a little
Her
mind trick
mind
that's
trick.
on her, like she did to Damon. And she like, you're like, oh, it's working. It's not working. And Catherine's like, that doesn't work on me. I've been around for a long time. I've seen that spell before. I'm stronger than that. And then yeah, Bonnie almost like dies, but then she opens up the door and she's like, Catherine's like, well played. And I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
very well played.
I love that, by the way. Just a nice tip of the hat to somebody who outsmarted you. I love that. If
Yeah.
you're gonna be a villain, at least be like, yeah,
Be
good job,
appreciative,
hero.
you know?
Good job.
Yeah.
So love that. I also love at this point, I think a little bit like the next scene or something, Catherine does a little recap for
Mhm.
Stefan. She does a little recap of who everybody is in the major relationships, and like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping me stay up to date on whatever the fuck is happening right now. Because it's a lot.
Oh wait, there was another part that happened at this funeral where they were just
Mm-hmm.
playing a piano instrumental of the script.
Yeah, they were.
And I was like, is this a funeral? Why are we playing this?
It's not a funeral, excuse me. It's a wake. People are drinking, so it's a wake now.
Okay. Yeah,
No,
sure.
you're fucking correct. It's dumb as shit, dude.
It's like the music choices are out of this world for this show. I can like remember last season when they just played the entirety of Brick by Boing Brick.
By Paramore, I am excruciatingly aware.
And now they just decide to play this script song. Piano instrumental of this script song. It's like, wow. I see you guys have an interesting music supervisor over there.
Season 2, they're starting off strong. They're like, if we want to play a piano instrumental version of the script, we need to start it immediately so people can't make fun of us, because there'll probably be something worse down the line. And that's the worst part of this, is there's probably going to be something worse down the line, Jordan. You know there is.
Oh gosh.
As sad as it is, you know this.
Should we make a list, like a Spotify playlist of like all the iconic music moments
I'm
from
like
Vampire
95%
Diaries?
sure that something like that exists, but also I
Oh.
do love the idea of us just using Spotify.
But I
for
don't want
bullshit.
every song. I want the most iconic ones.
I want Brick by Boring Brick by Paramore 7
and we have
times.
exactly we have it 7 times in a row for emphasis.
And then you throw in one piano instrumental version of the script.
Exactly.
And then do like 17 more times of Brick by Boring Brick by Paramore.
Exactly.
And then you've just made a John Mulaney bit from the ground up, and you can just like think you're funny and call it a day. It's great.
Yeah. we are in the our goal is to just make fun of everything. So if you want a Spotify playlist that's just a joke, it's just a joke Spotify playlist, we'll make it.
If you want jokes, we can sometimes do that.
Yeah.
Occasionally, we do jokes. Hey, I don't know if you've been to this podcast before, but sometimes jokes.
Have you heard my podcast? It's just us joking around. About what, you ask? Oh, the Vampire Diaries.
About what, you ask? A very bad teen show from like 2010.
Yeah.
How topical is it? Very. It's 2020. I'm gonna die from a virus of some shit, and I want to spend my last years of life talking about the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's exactly how I want to spend my time, all right? The world is in a state of apocalypse right now. And I say
Literally a pandemic.
I say we should just choose anarchy, as we always should have, and then just like listen to a podcast about the Vampire Diaries. So
Hey, how do you want to spend your anarchist moments? Do you want to spend them listening to this dumb joke podcast? In that case, share it with your friends. Share it with your anarchist friends.
Yeah. We accept all types of political beliefs, you know? Anarchy, socialism.
That's it. That's the only one. We actually only accept anarchy, which is a very anarchist thing to do.
Oh, actually, yeah, right. You're correct. Yeah.
Okay. Mason and Tyler share a moment where they drink, which is how all male bonding happens on this show, apparently.
I would like to bring up how Tyler and Jeremy were just about to bond and, drink.
Tyler and Jeremy actually had like a moment. I'm like, okay, is that friendship I see? The early
When I
stages
saw that, I was like, they could potentially be good friends. Also, very good romantic interests.
Also, yeah, my new favorite crack ship from TVD is Tyler and Jeremy.
Let's just them, you guys. Let's all bond together, but let's all come together. I know you guys have your ship wars, but I feel like we can all agree on Jeremy.
Would be a weird one, but also okay,
enemies,
sure.
Honestly, enemies to friends to lovers, excellence. Like, come on, you guys.
Wait, what's their ship name though?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Jyler?
Jyler works. This podcast now ships Jyler, and I will be making that post directly on Twitter so that you all know that this is a thing. And I want to see fan edits of Jyler, please, and thank you. fan art, fan edits, put them in your polls for your TV, for your ship polls.
What if I just name this podcast? The title of this podcast is "This Podcast Now Ships Jyler." It's the whole podcast, and nobody knows until they get like, what is this going to be? Like 30 minutes into the podcast? Probably something like that.
Yes, please do
So
that.
they have a moment. There's some heated moments of male bonding and also maybe future male bondage. We just don't know. Jeremy and Tyler, who knows where it's going to go. But when Mason and Tyler drink, they're playing like some kind of weirdly funky music, and I'm really into it.
I didn't hear it. I mean, I don't remember what it sounds like, but I fully trust your judgment, B. And I will
Go back and watch that scene.
it.
The music kind of slaps. Actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. Which is why I can excuse the piano like instrumental version of the script.
Yes.
Yeah. So then Stefan and Catherine go on a walk.
Mm-hmm.
Stefan calls Catherine a lying, manipulative bitch, which I love that.
Which is true.
When did pretty boy grow claws? Love that for him. And then some things happen. I don't remember what happens until then. I just only know when he talks to Damon later. How much later does that happen? I don't know this fucking show.
All I have written down after that scene is with Tyler and Jeremy and Mason is Stefan really has been using that Batman voice a lot this episode, huh?
Stefan is Batman.
Which isn't the actor who plays Stefan playing Batman?
No.
I'm sorry, all these white people look very like the same.
Paul Wesley is not Batman. Robert Pattinson is Batman. The guy from Twilight. The other teen vampire.
Really
I know there's a lot of them, but it definitely is Robert Pattinson and not Paul Wesley.
You know what? That's a like honest mistake, and it's a valid mistake because they both play vampires. I don't know how you expect me to differentiate between all these vampire people, okay? Like if you're playing a vampire, of course like you can like play Batman. Like they're like so like we discussed this early on season 1. They're like so similar. Yeah. They're so similar.
So at one point Stefan and Damon have a little confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
They have themselves a little fighty fight. Stefan, effectively what he says is, you only kissed Elena because you don't know how regular human feelings work.
Mm-hmm.
And Damon can say nothing but, that's rude but true. And that's just their whole relationship, right? Stefan's like, you don't know, actually, this is like a common human emotion. It's called friendship. You don't need to kiss people. And then Damon's like, actually, I do, though. I am here to cause problems on purpose.
Yeah. That's all that's Damon's personality. He's like, I don't care about how you feel about things. I only care about how I feel about things. And therefore, get fucked.
Therefore, regular human emotions, I don't know them. I only know kiss girls and be bad.
Yeah.
I was gonna say kiss girls and fuck shit up, but I'm like, no, you don't fuck shit up. You're like a mildly annoying gnat at most.
He doesn't get the privilege of having a fuck things up right after that, you know?
True, actually. You're very right. So, ma'am, do you have to play with your bell toy right now? Can you hear her little chirps?
Not anymore. A little bit, just when you said ma'am.
Oh, there you go. Hello. Come here. Hello. Stop stepping on my keyboard, ma'am, please.
Did we talk about the Damon and Catherine scene? Yeah.
That is actually not yet. Let's talk about this one other thing first.
All right. Cool.
Two other things first. John Gilbert is leaving town with all 10 fingers, and that's a fucking shame because he should have only like 5 max.
Yeah.
So he also gives some weird speech to Jeremy, and he's like, you know, your father hated vampires. I hated vampires. You should also hate vampires because I learned to hate vampires. Which to me, his whole speech felt like a really, like, vaguely, like, a very thinly veiled reference to racism.
Yeah.
And I was like, does this feel bad to anybody else?
I didn't see it as that while watching it, but now that you bring it up, most definitely.
Because that is definitely I've heard some racist ass white people around me say, and I'm like,
Mm,
hate
mm.
this. Feels bad.
It feels
I feel like
wrong.
I can't say that it like is definitively that, but I'm like, this feels gross.
Yeah. I mean, John in general is just gross,
Also very true.
so
Um Tyler has a little Tyler deserves a chance to just go fucking wild, you know?
mhm. Oh, that's what my note's about. Okay.
He deserves a freak out. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Tyler deserves to go a little bit fucking crazy as a treat.
Yeah.
He can go just a little crazy as a
A
treat.
little treat.
Little treat.
You really just went from 0 to 100, just like that. It's just like, "Whoa." It's kind of,
Yeah.
like, no build up, cause like, I feel like at least when he, like, pounced on Matt last season, it was like,
Mhm.
"Oh," there was, like, a little of, like, a, "Oh, this is happening," and now he's really going in for it. This time it was just like, "Wow, he's just going for it, just right ahead, just right
Mhm.
now, and no
He's
one can
just
stop him."
going.
Yeah.
Which I think I really like that because then you're like, okay, so there is something seriously wrong with my boy Ty.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, really is. Is this also when wait, hold up. Is this when Mason tells him about the moonstone?
No, that's next episode.
Next episode, okay. So I was like, wow, they're really hitting us over the head with this, huh? Anyway, next scene is Damon and Catherine kissing, and
Uh,
it is gross.
yeah, I felt very uncomfortable.
I felt incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah. I was like, "Ugh, when is this over?"
I normally feel uncomfortable when straight people kiss, but that was like next level
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
It's
Like I'm
just
like, oh,
I don't like it at
ugh.
all.
It's gross, and it felt
Yeah.
gross. And I think maybe I just don't like men. I mean, like we know I just don't like men, but
Uh-huh.
also maybe I just really don't like watching men kiss girls.
I don't
Maybe
mind
I
it.
just don't like that.
I just think here's my thing. Damon, I don't like
Mhm.
you. And therefore
Maybe
I
I just
can't
don't
get
like.
behind you kissing anyone. No one at all. Um, I usually I feel like I don't have a negative reaction to that, but like with Damon, there's just something about Damon. Also, what also made me very uncomfortable was just like how undressed Catherine was.
Yeah.
N-
Ugh.
yeah, it's like,
Just
this is like,
and then and then she lays this really hardcore line on him of
damn.
"I've never loved you."
Yeah, it was
Fucking
like
ouch, Nina Dobrev.
she was like, "Let
Ouch.
me like poke out your heart real quick. Let me just like puncture it real quick." And I was like, damn.
I know you like need this heart, but actually, I'm just gonna rip it out of your fucking body for now.
Yeah, just gonna like
Like
cut it up into
shit,
little
dude.
pieces and like
Gonna put
serve
it
it.
on a salad.
Yeah, serve it to my guests.
Just wow, just ouch, dude. Just
Yeah.
fucking hurts.
And can I just say Damon's sad face? Don't like it. It was the words that I put to it because I couldn't figure out what I was feeling while watching it. And then I was just like, "Oh, it's just like droopy." Like he looks like he's like he
Just droopy.
he just looks like he's like on drugs, and he's like heavily just not there. That's how it felt to me. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
Sometimes
also, was that a galaxy brain move because that was the moment Damon turned off his humanity again? Was that
oh,
really galaxy brain? The answer is no, actually. It was
no.
just Ian's
Ian
weird
Ian sometimes makes
mask of
some
his own
weird
face.
sometimes he makes some weird acting choices and just like, not it, dude. Not it.
Not it. I know this is 10 years later, but can we talk about how that move? Not it, Chief. Not it. um so then some other shit happens. I don't fucking know. Damon or Catherine breaks up with Damon, and then he just goes over to kiss Elena. Like,
Just like no consent at all.
exactly.
Like
Like,
it's just like
bro.
just like Elena's like, "Please stop kissing me." And he's like, "Oh, but you want this." And that's where I have to say Damon is the definition of toxic masculinity. And I I for one, want him to leave. I, for him,
We need
for
to
one,
have this conversation.
yes.
Because I know he's starting to get some comeuppance here from a certain someone, but it's not enough.
Yeah. It
And
definitely is
so
not enough.
during that scene, right, Elena's like, no, don't kiss me. And Damon's like, oh, but I think I shall. And it's like, no, that's gross. And then Jeremy bursts into the room because he's a good boy who wants to
Yeah.
protect his sister. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing here, Damon? And and Damon's like, actually, I think I'm gonna murder the kid brother of the woman I love. And I just think that's a wild fucking choice on
Also,
Damon's
but
behalf.
also, the girl that you apparently love doesn't want to kiss you back. So in retaliation, you go to kill her brother?
Very
Like,
wild choice here.
what?
He snaps Jeremy's neck like it's a fucking glow stick. Just absolute cracking that motherfucker. And then Jeremy falls to the ground. And it's like, oh, fuck. You're like, for real? Jeremy tried to commit suicide at like 20 minutes ago, airtime wise. And now he's like actually dead? Hold the fuck up.
And you're just like, how fucking dare you? Not only like, yes, the writers, because why? But also Damon, you fucking suck. You're not a good person at all. You're not even a person. You're not a good thing at all. Right? But also you don't know what consent is. Boo. You don't know how to handle your emotions better than and like the sheer fact, the thing that most annoys me, I think, is the fact that he does this all because Elena won't kiss him. What a fucking crybaby.
Yeah, what a fucking crybaby. If I went on a murderous rampage every time a girl didn't want to kiss me, oh, get out of here. I'd be in fucking jail. But no, Damon's just a CW pretty boy. I am just befuddled
Like,
by the fact that this is like what he thinks is like a proper recourse of action.
and then
Like,
somehow the writers are gonna have to try to convince me, like, oh, Damon's actually a redeemable character, and now you must ship him with Elena later on. Like, what?
yeah, they're gonna need to sell me hard on that one. Like, y'all are
Like,
gonna need to pull out some used car salesman tactics here because you're gonna need to sell me on this like no fucking other.
currently this love triangle is looking very much like, I don't care. I don't want that other thing. I want her to stay with Stefan because Damon is the absolute worst.
Not even, here's the thing, too. Here's the thing. I'm like, I don't even care if she's with Stefan. I
Yeah.
don't care who the fuck she's with.
Just
She's
keep
not
her
with
away from
Damon.
Damon.
He's a proven jackass. Anyway, after Jeremy dies, Elena's like, actually, I hate Damon.
And I'm like,
And you're valid.
finally.
Took you long enough.
Yeah. Like, you finally see him. And I don't understand why it took her so long to see him for what he truly is, because he's been showing his true colors since day one.
She also has said that she hates him previously, I think.
Yeah. So, like,
she
know
was
that
like,
this
there's no redeemable qualities in him. Like, bro.
Like, you've already said this, my dude. So, like, I don't believe anything that comes out of your mouth, because it seems like you're always just, like, not going to stay true to your word. Like, if I decided that I hated someone, I'm not going to all of a sudden in a couple of days or a couple of weeks be like, oh, actually, you're not that bad of a dude, my guy. Because hate is a strong word. You really have to, like, dislike someone to hate someone. It's like, makes no sense that somehow they end up together at the end. I don't get it.
Yeah, it does not. You are correct. After all this goes down,
Yes.
there is
Wait.
ready?
We should also talk about how Jeremy's actually okay.
Yeah, Jeremy's actually good because he's wearing that ring, the Gilbert ring that saves you from supernatural harm.
Yeah.
So he does come back. He good. He good, but bro, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
And the thought was murder.
Like, also, Damon most definitely did not see that ring on his finger, so he did intend to just kill her brother.
Yeah. Just like snap his fucking neck. Fucking wild. Anyway, this last scene.
Oh God.
I think we're at this last scene, right?
And this is the scene that I predicted all the way from the first scene when Damon's like, I'm gonna give Caroline my blood, so like she's okay.
Yeah. So, also we should mention that earlier Damon did give Caroline his blood so that she would actually make a miraculous recovery and not
Yeah.
die because she was on the path of death.
Yes, apparently.
Thanks, I guess, dipwit.
Thanks for this storyline that's just gonna make me cry. Thanks.
Thanks for this. Thanks for the tears. So Catherine arrives and chats with Caroline.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, my name's Catherine. And Caroline's like, no, your name's fucking not Catherine. You're Elena, dipshit. I've known you since we were tiny children. And she's like, actually, my name's Catherine, and I want you to give a message to the Salvatore brothers, so I am gonna kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And she suffocates Caroline Forbes with a pillow.
Mm-hmm.
Which I will admit, right? First suffocation death we've had on this show.
That is
really
true.
Nice break from snapping necks.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the variety. Thank you. And then she walks out of like backlit, like entirely in shadows. She walks out of Caroline's hospital room as Caroline's dead with a pillow on her face.
Mm-hmm.
And just wow, the cinematography. Women are so powerful.
They really are. Like,
just so powerful.
Very powerful. And we appreciate that.
I really do appreciate the power stance in that cinematography.
I don't appreciate the act, though.
But also, I kind of appreciate the act. Not like I don't want Caroline to die, but also the next episode, she's already really good at this.
Yeah, no, she definitely is really good at this. The next episode, I think I don't mind Caroline. Like I'm appreciative of a stronger Caroline, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just some scenes are just really hard to watch.
That's true, like, and it was a very hard scene to watch because you're like, oh shit, she's getting suffocated with a fucking pillow.
not even the suffocation part. I'm talking about next episode.
Oh yeah,
where it's like fuck, like oh my fucking god, this hurts a lot.
The next episode hurts, but I do love it. So, that's where we end on The Return, season 2, episode 1. That's the season premiere. Sorry, I mean season finale now. That's the season premiere.
Mm-hmm.
As far as season premieres go, yeah,
very good.
Would
recommend.
Big fan.
Like, actually does like be like, because like, you know, when you finish a show and then they come back for season 2 is like the time you decide, am I gonna commit to the show or am I done?
Yeah.
Am I out of here? Because you're not giving me what I want. And I feel like this is a very good way to like not only make the audience you had previously stick around, but to gain new viewers.
Yeah, this is a very good, like, they finally... Season 1 was very good for, like, the world building and the place building of Mystic Falls, and you're like, okay, these are the kind of generally the big players, here's how they interact, whatever. And then season 2 comes in, it's like, by the way, Catherine's back. Also, Caroline's a vampire. And those two things, without all the other shit that happens in this episode, those two things are enough to throw chaos into the Mystic Falls chessboard that you have set up in your head, you know?
Yeah.
It's the game of Risk that you've been running in your head for, like, who is good at what thing gets just tossed out the fucking window. And it's so good. Yeah. And this is without even all of the, like, beating us over the head with whatever's happening to Tyler, without Uncle Mason being back in town.
And they do balance that so well, where it's like it's happening, but not to like an extent where you're just like, oh, this is annoying.
Yeah, it's just a very good season premiere. So let's look at the next one, shall we, Jordan?
Yes, we shall.
Let's talk about episode 2, Brave New World. A pretty good pretty good episode of the Vampire Diaries. Also a very good expansion pack for Sid Meier's Civilization 5, one of my favorite video games of all time. I do just want to put that in here. If y'all fucking play Civ 5 still, hit a bitch up on Steam. I'm just saying. I have 500 hours in this fucking game.
Oh my gosh,
Somebody
it's so many.
find me. Don't listen. Listen. So, the description for this episode is: when a confused and desperate Caroline leaves the hospital and joins her friends at the Mystic Falls Carnival, Damon wants to take immediate action. This episode opens up with Caroline talking to the nurse that is kind of like in her area of the hospital, and the nurse is just like, eat sleep for dinner, bitch. Which, like, yeah, big fucking mood. Pixel, do you really have to go directly behind my mic and clean yourself right now? Hey, babes. Hey. Go anywhere else. She's just hanging out right here. And I love her, but that's... Damn, bitch. So yeah, anyway, Caroline wakes up and she's like, I thought I got suffocated by a pillow. And everything, though, points to the fact that she did not get suffocated by a pillow. And she is ravenously hungry. And when she tells the nurse that, the nurse is like, eat sleep for dinner, actually. I know this is a hospital, and I'm supposed to help people, but sleep it the fuck off, bitch. 7 a.m. is breakfast time. Sleep till then. And, like, yeah, rude.
Do they not have, like, cafeterias that are supposed to be open, or...
Even, like, some fucking crackers or some toast,
Yeah.
bitch. Get the bitch some toast. Pixel, please stop. Whatever you're doing. Goodbye, I love you. Okay, sorry. She was just right in front of my microphone, so if I seemed muffled, that's why. There was a small black cat right in front of me. Okay. Caroline's like, actually, though, I'm still fucking hungry. So she spots or senses somehow a blood bag. And she steals the blood bag.
And takes a sip.
Take a fucking sip, baby! Because Caroline just unknowingly turned herself into a vampire.
Yeah, it was so interesting because she took a sip and she was like,
that's gross.
That's gross. And then she's like, oh, actually, I want more.
She's like, actually, I'm gonna get this up off the floor and eat more of it.
But I'm also kind of confused. I think I might just be remembering the lore incorrectly. I thought that in order to become a vampire, you had to kill someone. But from what I'm hearing... Oh, wait, no, you don't.
You just have to drink human blood.
Right, yes, okay.
You have to kill someone to become the other thing.
Oh, yes. Yes, you're correct.
I know I am. I have my moments. You had there was a loaded silence there where you were like, processing. Oh!
Yes. My brain is...
It's okay.
It's okay. It's doing its thing.
So, Caroline becomes a vampire in the first 5 minutes of this episode.
Yeah.
And you're already like, oh, fuck. Nobody else in the world knows this has happened except for maybe Catherine.
Yeah, and it's kind of like... It's like, damn, like... So much of, like, what we talked about last season is that, like, no one's paying attention to Caroline. What's going on with Caroline? And, like, I know, like, no one can be with her at, like, the hospital 24/7. But, you know, you at least think, like, I don't know, so by some way, more people would be there watching over her.
You would think so, right? But also, keep in mind, this did happen, like, at 2 a.m.
That's true. I just mean,
there
like,
was that.
After 2 a.m., I guess Matt did come over the next day, but Matt didn't. Like, it was just, like, so many inconvenient things. Like, how come Matt came over, but none of her friends did? You know, her friends who she's been friends with since, like, what, like, elementary school? Like, it's different. It's small things like that where I'm just like, damn, Caroline. Like, you gotta get... You gotta get some better friends. Like,
Caroline, you need an upgrade, honey. But don't worry, said upgrade is coming.
yes.
Mystic Falls has a carnival. They just had one like fucking 3 months ago when Vicky died. Like, what's the timeline here? Is this they're saying, oh, we're in a new school year now? Or is this just them saying we have a fall carnival and a spring carnival? What kind of fucking high school has this many carnivals?
I think it's a spring carnival. It's definitely not a new year. And why is this happening? So
all
many
of my questions just right there.
So many questions.
Judd
So many
out.
questions.
What the fuck is her name? Elena and Bonnie are now the ones who are kind of in charge of planning this, because Caroline's obviously disposed. And Elena's like, I don't know how the fuck Catherine, Jesus. I'm gonna make that mistake a lot, by the way.
It's
and
fine.
Call Caroline Catherine a bunch. And Brian's not here to yell at me, so when Brian gets on the podcast consistently, then he can fucking square up. But Elena's like, oh man, how does Caroline do it? Like, how does she do it all the time? And then Bonnie's like, oh man, she's just that good. And Elena's like, she's just not human, obviously. Which I love that line.
There's another line like that later on in the episode. And it's like, wow, you guys just really not into things that are currently happening or about to happen, huh?
It's just so fucking funny and so ironic. And you're like, okay, some writer thought of that line and they were like, love it. Like, somebody, you just know, somebody like smirked and then they were like, I've got it. That's how that line got written, because I just slammed on my keyboard 7 times, and that's what writers do, right? Matt visits Caroline in the hospital, and he calls her neurotic like it's supposed to be cute. I have questions, Matthew. Matthew, I have questions.
So many.
Matt, so many questions.
This is not the first time Matt has done something. It's just like, Matt, no, my dude.
It's not the first time. It's also not the last time it's going to happen in this episode. So, listen. It's bad. Baby is bad.
Yeah.
Caroline, though, is dealing with all of this extremely well for someone who just turned into a full-fledged vampire without really realizing it.
Yeah, she, like, definitely is just on the, like, I feel like she's on the edge, you know?
Oh, yeah. She is extremely on the edge.
I don't know how to describe it, but you know, like, when you're like, I have everything under control, and like, you're just like, I'm, like, organizing everything, I have everything under control, but secretly on the inside, you don't have everything under control.
You are correct, and you are describing, like, A, OCD, and B, when I'm fucking manic. I'm like, I'm cleaning because I have everything under control in my life, when really, I am fucking manic. I'm like, if I don't clean, I'm gonna throw myself off a bridge. Yeah. And it's like, I need to clean.
That's definitely where, I'm not gonna say that Caroline's having a manic episode, but, like,
that's definitely where she's at.
She's, like, having, like, a vibe of, like, I have everything under control. Like, I can, like Matt, I can't talk to you right now. I'm dealing with this, and, like, everything's under control, but you need to leave right now. And it's kind of like Caroline, sweetie, it's okay that you're not okay. Like, someone please, like, while watching this entire, like, all the scenes in the hospital of her, like, dealing with, like her with, like, becoming a vampire, then, like, losing control and, like, drinking the blood of the nurse.
She accidentally compels the nurse.
Yeah,
like, she learns compulsion on accident.
Like, I'm watching all of this, I'm just like, wow, she's doing really well. But also, someone please help out Caroline. She's going through so much right now, and no one's there to help her. Please help her.
But also, I think it really speaks a lot to Caroline's character.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, everything that she does here, and, like, the fact that she's handling it so well, but in such, like, an on-edge, manic kind of way, I'm like,
that just speaks to her. That's just, like, is what Caroline is.
It's so in character.
And it's like, not only did the writers do a good job of just, like, putting that in there, but, like Candace's performance is just, like, so good. So good!
Love it. Big fan. Cause it feels so good to finally see the character who is like very kind of like obsessive compulsive organized.
Uh-huh.
And then she's trying to be obsessive compulsive organized for bloodlust. And
Uh-huh.
you're like, it's not working out too well, but I love the fact that you're trying your
Yeah,
best.
yeah, and it's like, "Caroline, I love you. Please, someone help her."
And she does after she accidentally learns compulsion. Just like accidentally, which I love.
Mhm.
And then she checks herself out of the hospital.
The way she checks herself out of the hospital, the lines that she says, I don't remember exactly, but I think she, like, is talking about, like, the carnival and, like, how Elena doesn't know what she's doing and she has to help out, with the carnival and just, like, the way that she dresses the nurse is, like, such, like, good lines and, like, so well done and, like, good job, you guys, like, good job, like, I love
Just
it.
really love that whole sequence.
Yeah.
I think I just really love Caroline Forbes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're a Caroline Forbes stan cast, actually.
Yeah.
We talk about nothing but Caroline Forbes.
And how much we love her and how much she deserves so much more than she's getting.
Exactly. So then we go to the carnival. Elena and Bonnie are running the show. Bonnie's reporting that they are out of Team Jacob teas, which love that. Apparently nobody's Team Edward over at the Vampire Diaries, you know? That's fine
Oh.
though. Maybe they just want a lot of Jacobs. I mean Jacobs. There's a grown-ass man who kind of like hits on Bonnie
Thank you
slash
for also pointing that out because Buddy's a child. And I
he's
also
not
saw
even that
that.
cute.
He
He's not even that cute. I know I'm a lesbian, so I'm a terrible judge of it, but like he's not even that cute.
Why are they flirting? Why is a grown
And he
adult and
looks
a
old.
child flirting?
If he had a hair be a younger face, I would have been like, okay, so you're just like kind of the guy they hired to repair it, but
Yeah.
that's also still weird. But it's still weird. It's strange. I
It's
don't like it.
it's like
I don't like
so
it at
fucking
all.
weird that they decided to do that. Like,
And then
and
he's
then
like, why don't you
also
just show me the problem? And it's like very fucking what is that one movie? Oh my god. The I Can Fix That Guy. Do you remember that movie?
oh
Is that
Wreck-It
Holes?
Ralph?
No. Jesus Christ. No, it has the guy from Psych in it. Not the main guy, but the other guy.
Oh,
One second. Let me search this fucking movie. 1 second. IMDb. It's Gus from Psych.
yes, I know who you're
Dule
talking about.
Hill. There we go. And what is that movie called? Because you will recognize it as soon as I say it. It is Holes. I completely just forgot the name of Holes. You know how he has the romance with the teacher because he keeps fixing things?
I'm not gonna lie to you, B. I don't remember most of Holes.
Oh!
I
Okay,
just remember
okay.
watching it and then reading the book and also reading the sequel to the book, but I remember none of what happened because it happened when I was in elementary school.
Anyway, let's go back to the Vampire Diaries real quick.
Yeah. And we have oh, Jeremy is like, I want to kill you.
Wait, no, there's still so much carnival left. Hold up.
Oh wait, no,
Then,
sorry. He did. This is not when he said he wants to kill him yet. Damon
yeah,
just went up
this,
to Jeremy and said
yeah.
and was like being like a fucking asshole. And then Jeremy was like, "Oh, I have this ring." And then Damon almost chokes him. And the reason why I thought this is when Jeremy tried to kill him is because I said Jeremy has the right to kill him if necessary. Yeah?
Hey, Jeremy, we're giving you the license to kill, buddy.
Yeah.
Take your 00 status and just go.
Just do it.
Go wild. Also at the carnival, Damon is lurking and trying to figure out what's up with Tyler Lockwood,
Mhm.
because that's what he's trying to do. And he notices that Tyler, way fucking stronger than any other kid, but
Yeah.
at like arm wrestling, which we all know is a very good indication of strength. But Tyler's like a triple varsity athlete, like a fucking course he's strong, you know? He
Mhm.
probably takes fucking steroids because it's a high school in Virginia that cares about their sports, you know, that
Mhm.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then Uncle Mason shows up, and Mason just fucking wipes the floor with Tyler. And so Mason becomes the new arm wrestling champ. And he's like, "All right, anyone want to fucking challenge me? What's up? Let's go." And then Damon's like, Stefan will do it. Which, love that. Just throw him under the bus there.
Yep.
Just shove him under there a little more.
Yep.
And then Stefan and Mason arm wrestle. And Mason wins.
Yeah.
But Stefan actually tries.
Yeah.
Which means Mason, 100% definitely stronger than a human, not quite as strong as a vampire, though.
Not. Wait. No, he is.
Not like the way Stefan describes is that it's not like vampire strong, but it's definitely stronger than a person, just not quite as strong as a vampire.
Yes. Yes.
Or it's like a different kind of strength, you know?
Yes. 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 I get what you're saying. Yes.
So for right now, by the way, the hierarchy we have goes human strength, question mark strength, and then vampires are the strongest of all.
Yeah.
So there's always that. We get our ambiguously supernatural mystery uncle. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Damon goes walking in the school alone. And he senses a presence behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And he turns around and he is met with Caroline Forbes in a power stance.
Mm-hmm.
And you know shit's gonna hit the fan when Caroline Forbes is in a power stance.
When anyone is in a power stance, things are bound to hit. Shit's bound to hit the fan.
There you go. You got it. You struggled there halfway through, but you got it.
Yep, eventually.
So she reveals to Damon that she's remembering things now. And she's not very fucking happy.
Mm-hmm.
As she has full right to be.
Yeah,
she has
100%
full right to be like,
because last season was a
furious.
pure shit show.
For her, awful.
Yes.
And Damon's like, you can't remember unless you're like fucking going through the transition or whatever. And then you can see it dawn on him the same moment she like pushes him down. He's like, oh shit. And she like pushes him down and he's like, what the fuck? And Caroline's like, I have a message from Catherine. She said, game on. And he like kind of runs away from her while she's standing there in like her high heels in a power stance.
Mm-hmm.
And just what a fucking move.
Yeah. Power moves
what
only,
a fucking
baby.
move. Just love that for her.
And like, did you see that thing on Twitter of the scene playing out on the TikTok?
No, Jordan, send me the TikTok.
I shall send it to you if I can find it. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. But yeah, but I will say because I knew the scene was coming because I saw that TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, this is that scene. But yeah, Caroline, 100% powerful. We love that. I think it's interesting because I think the lore that has been established is that the older you are as a vampire, the more stronger you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Correct.
So, and Damon's pretty old. So I think it's really cool how she was able to just like flip him on his ass, you know? Like,
yeah, she was like, actually, fuck that.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm gonna put you and I think the cinematography is just also very well because he's like on the ground, kind of like groveling, and she's just standing there, and I'm just like, yes, woman.
It also kind of reminds me of, those earlier scenes in TVD when she was like walking through the school and like being followed by like, I think it was Damon.
Yeah.
Or when she was being haunted by him. It's really like a good callback to those scenes, which I really do love.
Yeah.
Except now she's in control.
Yeah, baby.
Love that for her. And then she just leaves and goes to the carnival because girl needs to unwind and relax a little bit.
Yeah, and she doesn't next scene with Matt happen, or what?
Yeah.
I feel like nothing happens in between there and then, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, so she goes to Matt. She apologizes for earlier.
And then he's
Um,
like, "Hey, you want to do a ring toss?"
and she's like, "Sure." And then she, has so much
Fucking
strength and just
busts
obliterates some
things
bottles.
open. She doesn't break a bottle. She breaks like 4. She
Yeah,
just busts them. And Matt, the himbo that he is like, "Oh, cool."
yeah.
Like,
And like,
"Thanks,
yeah,
Matt."
thanks. I appreciate that 100%. Yes. Same. Honestly, Matt, same. I'm also in the same scenario where I see my girlfriend throw a ring toss and like break some bottles and it's just like, "Oh, cool. I love
Good job,
powerful
babe.
women."
Yeah, good job, babe. You're very powerful. I love that about you. um, and then Damon reveals the news that Caroline is a vampire to Stefan and Elena. And
Mhm.
Damon's first train of thought is, we gotta fucking kill her.
And that's why we hate Damon here. Um, that's not the only
That's just it.
reason, but one of them.
One of them. Just add it to the fucking tab, dude.
Uh-huh. We
We'll
should just
settle up at the end of the night, but this is not the end of the night yet, and we are still in the thick of it, baby.
yeah. And another thing that happens is that Caroline does eventually leave Matt before this happens. Caroline does eventually leave Matt, and I think before this happens, she does go and attack that man.
Well, okay, so we totally forgot this side plot here. Damon compels the grown ass man who was hitting on Bonnie earlier to pick a fight with Tyler Lockwood just to like see what would happen out of some sick dumbass like scientist curiosity.
Mhm.
Pixel, hey. Sorry. She has the zoomies right now, sorry. Bitch. If you don't settle down, I swear to fuck. Girl, if you rip out any of those cords, you won't fucking pay for them. I know
Oh.
you're a cat, but being a parent is stressful. Um, so he compels that guy to pick a fight with Tyler and not back down no matter what. But Tyler, so the guy then does pick a fight with Tyler, get his ass beat, and Uncle Mason comes to the rescue, and Uncle Mason's eyes glow yellow. What's that all about?
I wonder what's going on with Mason.
Is that the same thing that happened when Tyler's eyes glowed yellow at the car accident? Hmm.
I wonder what could point us towards what's going on with Mason. Is it the
Hey,
jump he made in the air?
is it the fucking giant? He jumped like a story tall. He could jump onto a short building. Like, bro.
He jumped just like an animal, which should point to you what he is if you're not completely sure yet. And there haven't been enough hints from this entire episode.
Have I not said the word dog whistle enough to kind of like let you in on
I
what's
mean,
going on here?
they full on say it during the episode as one of the options of what Tyler could be.
They do. But they say it in a joking way, so they're like, "Oh, we're not expecting you to like hang with us there." But we do.
Like all signs
Um
are pointing towards it.
all that moon imagery, the
Mhm.
fact that Mason is eventually asking, also, we forgot this earlier, he's asking about a moonstone.
Yeah.
Pixel, will you stop trying to eat my shoulder? Hey, don't eat my fucking glasses. D- Motherfucker, get your little kitty paws. I'm so sorry. Next time we record, I'm locking her up.
Mm.
She is banished. She will be banished. You will be banished. Tyler or Mason does ask Tyler about a moonstone.
Mhm.
Um, there's anger
I
issues.
mean, a lot of it just points to one direction. If you haven't figured it out by now, I don't know what to tell you. Wait, because it's so obvious.
It's gonna happen in like 5 minutes, apparently.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, can I also just say? Oh wait, no, that hasn't happened yet. I'll say it later. I'll say it later.
so okay, yeah. So the Lockwoods, Mason saves Tyler from like fucking beating this poor guy to a pulp.
Yeah.
This poor guy is then sitting to the side. Excuse me, sorry. He is sitting to the side tending to his wounds, including a bloody nose, and guess who stumbles upon him? Caroline.
Caroline. And she is just reeling from the fact that she almost bit Matt, even though
Mhm.
she didn't want to, and is like,
Mhm.
she's like, you know how we were saying before, Caroline was like acting like everything was under control, but on the inside, everything was not under control. It is now, the
Correct.
inside is now starting to show more and more, and Caroline does not know how to handle that.
That is true. She can't organize bloodlust into color-coded file folders, you know?
Exactly.
So she's struggling. So she murders this fucking dude.
Unfortunately. And I was like, damn, this man. I mean, he hit it on a minor, so that was kind of weird. But like, also, he just got into a fight with a
Like
werewolf.
5
Wait, sorry,
minutes
not
ago.
oops, I said what he was. I didn't want to
Don't
spoil it for him.
don't do it.
Um, cut that out. I
I will.
definitely
I'll bleep it.
okay. He gets in a fight with this supernatural being because a
This
vampire
basically supernatural uncle, yeah.
because a vampire compels him to do it. And now he's just gonna die by another vampire. It's like, damn, this man was never making it out alive.
This man was struggling. This man was not having a good day, dude.
No, unfortunately, it's sad to see you go, but goodbye. Your one role in
Sorry,
this
my guy.
entire episode was to be a plaything for supernatural creatures, and now you're gonna die by them too.
Sometimes it happens,
Yeah.
you know? So Stefan and Elena find Caroline right after she has murdered this
Well,
dude.
not Stefan
Wait,
Elena first.
Damon.
Damon
Damon
finds her
finds
first
Caroline
and
first
tries to kill
and
her
about to murder her.
like a
And then
fucking asshole.
Stefan's like, don't fucking kill her. She's been alive for a day. Give
Yeah.
her some time. Um, so
And then Bonnie walks up
and she like touches Caroline. She's like, no, you can't be.
and she is.
And it's a very sad moment.
Yes.
And
And then the
then,
most saddest moment happens that made me cry. I'm not kidding. Tears were like, if I was not in a public setting, I probably would have cried. But I was in a public setting, so I didn't cry. But
mhm.
tears were welling up in my eyes because of Candace's performance. Oh my god.
The moment with Caroline and Stefan in like a bathroom or whatever, when he's like helping her clean up, he's like, this man is like a preschool teacher for transitional vampires.
Uh-huh.
He has a wet wipe at the ready. He's like, just let me do this. We'll get it under control.
We'll get this blood off of
Such a
your
good
face.
scene. Such a good scene.
And then Carolyn's just like breaking down because she's like, I don't know how to deal with this. And then she looks at herself in the mirror and then she sees how she looked and she's like, I don't like the way that I look. And and then Stefan tries to calm her down. He's like, look at me, like give me my eyes. And it's like you have to like he's like telling her you have to breathe, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of this and like you're gonna have to like fight it. And I was just like, this is so heartbreaking and like, what the fuck?
And the worst part is, she could have had a very normal, happy life as a
Mm-hmm.
person,
Yeah.
you know? Because it did kind of just get disrupted and fucked up by Damon Salvatore.
Mm-hmm.
And by extension, I guess Catherine too, but mostly Damon.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, damn,
It's like, fuck.
damn.
Fuck.
And she unintentionally like turned herself into a vampire. Like,
Yeah.
just ouch.
There was like so many places where if somebody was with her, probably would have been fine, but she was there on her own and it just happened.
I just have a lot of feelings about Caroline Forbes. She's fucking great.
But also, does Stereoline has rights? Like, do they have
This
rights?
Stefan and Caroline scene, I'm not saying that I see something,
But
but
maybe I see a little something.
maybe I'm seeing things,
Maybe
you know?
it hits a little different, huh?
Maybe it kind of hits. Maybe it kind of slaps, dude.
Um,
But
like,
we'll table that for about 6 more seasons.
yeah.
We're gonna table this for the next 4 seasons.
We'll come back to this in like a while. Like
We'll circle back to this in, like, 2 years.
we probably will not remember us having this conversation about circling back to it, but we most
But we
definitely
will.
will.
We most definitely will. So, Bonnie, Elena, and Damon are all like, "Well, I guess now we gotta deal with a body." And Bonnie's like, straight up, "I'm gonna fucking kill Damon."
Yeah.
And Elena, I hate Damon Gilbert, is like, "Don't." Hey, Elena?
What the fuck,
Why?
dude? What the fuck?
She is wildly like, I hate him. I'm like, okay, then let him die. You're not gonna be at fault for it. Bonnie's doing it all with her magic. You don't need to jump over a river of fire to do anything. Like, just stop.
Stop trying to be a good person. Like just let the dude die. Every single time he's about to die, she stops him from killing him.
And it's always like 3 minutes after she said, I hate him.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
dude,
pick a side, Elena. Stop being so flip-floppy.
I think this is one of the most frustrating things about Elena's character for me. And about like Elena as a whole, because I feel like I should like her. I just don't, because she's constantly like, I hate this person. And then she turns around and she's like, actually, this is a good person who you shouldn't kill. No.
Well, to be fair, I don't think her reasons for not killing Damon was that he was a good person. I do think it was more like on the side of like I don't want to see Bonnie do this because it's gonna change her as a person, like killing someone, you know. But
But also,
also let him
would it
die.
have, because she already has the deaths of many vampires on her hands or on
Exactly.
her conscience, you know? Like,
This
add
one
one
death
more to
is
the
not
pile.
gonna like this one death is not gonna do anything.
It's just also at this point in the scene, Elena yells, "You're gonna kill him." Like that's not Bonnie's entire fucking point. Like
Yeah.
she did not say her thesis statement, and her thesis statement was, "I'm gonna fucking kill Damon." And and Elena's like, "But you're gonna kill him." It's like, yeah, bitch, that's what I fucking said.
And that's exactly what he deserves.
It's what he deserves, and
He
it's just
always deserves it. And it's
so
exhausting at this
frustrating.
point. Like
It's so frustrating for Elena because it's like you don't feel like, I don't see where this comes from, where her need to save Damon comes from now, because
he
like
just
I
killed
said,
her brother.
5 minutes ago she was like, I hate him. Like,
It
bro.
legitimately makes no sense.
I wish I could like Elena Gilbert, but these first 2 episodes of this season kind of proved why I don't, because she says at the end of 1, she's like, I hate Damon, and then at the end of 2, she's like, I'm gonna save Damon's life. Stop. Okay, we're moving on though.
Yeah. Okay, here's the one scene that I want to talk about because I
Mm-hmm.
died of laughter when I saw this. Um
Mm-hmm.
Tyler and Mason make it home, and then Mason
Mm-hmm.
and before previously Tyler had been questioning Mason about his glowing eyes, and Mason's like, "You're seeing things, right?" So
Mm-hmm.
they apologize to each other about fighting or whatever, and Mason goes upstairs, and Tyler goes in to find the moonstone that his brother, I'm sorry, his uncle has been looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It's in this safe that's in the ground of his father's office.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is this moonstone in there, but if you look pretty closely, you also see floppy disk. And you're like, floppy disk? And you're like,
In
right, this is
2010
2010. But also,
or
why do we have these in
2011?
2010? Like, who decided on that?
This was actually 2011?
This is
Wait,
20,
no, this episode was near the end of 2010. Sorry, this was September of
but
2010.
but still, like, I get it, floppy disks were a thing, but like, we're way past them. Like, why do you have these? I want to know what's on the floppy disk. Like, that it's so important that it has to be in this safe.
Yeah. How does he
Uh,
still have something that how does he still have something that reads floppy disks? It's
yeah,
one thing to have the floppy disk, but you need a whole bunch of shit to like read what is on the floppy
yeah.
disk.
And for those of you listening at home, And
If you don't know what a floppy disk is, get the fuck out.
Stop
Google.
listening to this podcast. Go look it up because we don't have time to explain it to you. You're too
It's the video game save icon for a lot of things.
yeah.
It's
Ju-
just like the way that I kind of recognize it.
yeah,
But go
yeah.
on.
Just like get some knowledge, my dude. Like learn what a floppy disk is. But yeah, that really cracked me up. I was like, there's a floppy disk in there. Why?
Why is there a floppy disk? It's 2010. So the moonstone is there.
Uh-huh.
It's called the moonstone. Keep the moonstone in your mind when you're thinking, what is the ambiguously supernatural animalistic uncle? What is he?
What could he
Well,
be? Well, I
keep
mean,
that moonstone in
remember
mind.
how Tyler was below a moon last season?
How he was very angry whenever the full moon was near.
Interesting. Think about that.
Just food for thought. Jeremy breaks into the Salvatore house because he's gonna try and kill Damon. Which you should have.
You could have just done
Damon's
it.
just like, should have done it, man. Jeremy's like, but what's killing you gonna do? It's probably gonna save a lot of co-eds.
Yeah.
A lot of trouble here. A
Gonna
lot
save-
of lives.
I'm gonna save a lot of lives, honestly. Like, Jeremy, you really could have just saved a lot of lives.
Gonna
right
save
there.
your own life again in case he tries to kill you.
Yeah, like so many things that what good things that would happen from you killing. And just to put this out there, Jeremy killing Damon for killing him, it does not mean that he's like, I feel like Jeremy thinks it means that he's just like his father and his uncle. And that is not the case, okay? Because Jeremy has seen good vampires. There's like Stefan, he's a pretty good vampire. He had Anna, you know?
Yeah.
And so like it's not like Jeremy like killing Damon would make him just like his father and his uncle, because he wouldn't be like them. He would realize that sometimes he would realize that not all vampires are the same, which is what his uncle and his father fail to see, right? So like I think Jeremy thinks that, oh, if I kill Damon, I'm partially going to be like them. But Jeremy, if you kill Damon, you will not be like them. You'll be exactly the opposite of them. Sure, you've taken like a vampire's life, but it was like for the good of everything, you know? Not like an innocent vampire who's done nothing wrong, you know?
Yeah. Also, I didn't mention this when John was leaving town with all 10 fingers. But Jeremy was like, "Have you killed all the vampires?" And then John's like, "Yes, I've killed them. I've killed enough." And I still want to know if John Gilbert thinks that vampires do not exist outside of Mystic Falls, Virginia. Is he gonna cross the state line into fucking West Virginia or some shit and be like, "There's more?" I want to know, does he think this is all of them? Hey, do you think this is all of them, John?
Honestly, would not be surprised. John's not that smart, so.
He's really not. He's a white guy from Mystic Falls. Let's be real
Yeah.
here. Let's remember this public education system.
It's not great.
Second to last thing here. Matt sneaks into Caroline's room at night. And he is just like, "Hey, are you done being crazy?" Which, hey, Matt, she might be avoiding you because you keep calling her a basket case. And because you keep calling her neurotic, she might be like dodging you because of that, Matthew. And then he's like, "I'm more insecure than you are."
But I
Yeah,
think
but you're not called neurotic a lot.
I think he
Hey, Matt.
recognizes that there's something that's going on with him that makes her not want to be around her. I think he recognizes that in that little speech of his.
Yeah. It's just fucking wild that everybody calls Caroline neurotic, and then they're like, "Why does Caroline not like us?" It's like, well, I can name at least one reason. Like,
Listen,
bro.
Matt may be
dumb
sometimes, but
you don't need to say sometimes. You can just say dumb. It's okay.
He may be dumb, but He said he loves her. So
Also
honestly,
cute.
honestly, whatever. I don't care that Matt's dumb. I just want Caroline to be happy, and that was really sweet. So,
That was
Matt,
cute.
it's
And
okay
then
that you're dumb. I accept you and your
you'll
almost
get
himbo
better.
status.
You'll get better with your wording in time, buddy. And then also, uh, Caroline, they share a sweet hug, and
Hmm.
Caroline controls herself.
And I was like, good for Caroline.
She's come so far already.
She like
I
honestly
just
deserves that. She deserves a good hug.
She really does, and she got a good hug that she didn't drink the blood of the person giving her the hug.
It's
Oh,
just good things happening for her, honestly. Other than, this whole turning into a vampire unintentionally thing.
that's fine. That's fine. So last scene here, Stefan wakes Elena up at like 3 a.m. because he's a fucking shitty vampire boyfriend.
Yeah, that's a
Have we
shitty way.
talked about my Can I talk about my theory here in that vampires never actually know what fucking time it is because they don't need sleep, so they just kind of operate at all hours. And so everybody just thinks they're like weird insomniacs who only wake up at night, but really they just can't go outside during the day. Have I talked about
Oh,
my theory for that? Because I
no,
have a
but
TED.
like, then does that make me a vampire?
Can you go out in the sun?
Yeah, but sometimes I get headaches.
Yeah. Hey, do you hey, quick
Uh-huh.
question, Jordan.
Yeah.
Do you want to drink some human blood?
No.
Okay,
Um,
well then, unfortunately, I have some bad news for you. Much like Jeremy Vampire Stan Gilbert, you are close, but not a vampire.
damn it. I really thought I could blame all my issues on being a vampire.
I
Well,
wish. Anyway, Stefan wakes Elena up. They go to the carnival, and they finally get their top of the Ferris wheel kiss.
um, two things. First, they say D word, and I was like, that's Stan Twitter energy when they say K word, as if that sometimes makes it better.
Yes.
Number two, vampires can fly.
He just jumps really high. He doesn't fly, he just jumps real high.
That's physically impossible.
He's a vampire. Who cares?
I thought he was flying. So then I wrote
He
out. Vampires can fly, and y'all are getting upset at Landon flying when Hope could have just flew them all this time.
Damon had a raven at the beginning of the first season. They kind of dumped that already. They dumped everything else. I think he's just jumping real fucking high.
No, no, I will not accept that. You know what? This is my theory. Vampires
Mhm.
can fly in this universe, but 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 the writers totally forgot that they made this a part of the storyline, and therefore it was never used again. And
Okay, but you're correct in that the writers totally forgot something and never used it again. Oh god.
so that's what happened here. That's why Hope should have been like, I swear to God, I wish they remembered it. So then Hope could be like, great, you can fly too now? Great, now we can go fly together. And then they have scenes of them just like, of them flying to like on a date in the air.
It's just
I the show's so stupid. Ugh. I know it's not meant to be a comedy, but it 100% reads like one, so.
it's 1000% a comedy. So, hey Jordan,
Yes.
now's the time where I can finally pull up my spreadsheet here and
How
we can
nice.
begin the all important process
Of rankings.
of ranking.
Also,
So, hey Jordan. Yeah.
yes. I forgot what I was gonna say, so go ahead and ask me that question. I totally just forgot what I was gonna say.
Hey Jordan.
Yes.
What do you rank season 2 episode 1 The Return? For any of you who have forgotten our ranking system, 1 is the worst, 10 is the best, 5 is middle of the road. What do you rank season 2, episode 1, The Return?
Honestly, really good episode. We got
Honestly, agree.
we got Catherine, and Catherine's
Mhm,
just stirring up all sorts of trouble. Okay,
mhm.
and we also have Caroline and her like. Well, actually, no. That does. There's not a lot of Caroline this episode, so I won't. We have the ending for her, but there's not a lot of her this episode. Okay,
Yeah.
we
Mhm.
have. What else do we have? We have. Um,
We already recapped it. It's fine.
I'm just trying to figure out how I feel about the. I think overall, when I was watching it, I think it was very well done as
Mhm.
like a season 2 opener. And like
Yes.
I was like very intrigued the entire time. I wanted to know what was going on. I was very engaged by the storylines. None of them felt like lackluster, like something was happening. You're just like, why is this happening? You know? So
Mhm,
like
mhm. Yeah.
overall, very good episode. And I think I might give it a 9, honestly.
Jordan, you wanna know what's wild?
What?
I was also gonna give this episode a 9.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good episode.
Um, we were talking in our group chat for the podcast earlier, like yesterday, the day before, and Brian was like, "This is one of my all-time favorite episodes of TVD," and I was like, at the time, I was kind of like scoffing. I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure, whatever, a season opener or whatever. You just think it's good because you think TVD is good." And then
Mhm.
I watched this episode, and I'm like, actually, this episode kind of slaps.
Yeah,
Like
it's like it's pretty good, especially like the ending of last season and then building up to like
going
this.
into this,
It's like
yeah.
really good, really good.
Hmm. Agreed. So Jordan, how do you feel about episode season 2, episode 2, Brave New World?
Very same similar feelings. Caroline owned this episode, and Candace and Paul's
Paul?
scene together in that bathroom straight up almost made me cry. Um, like very good like addition to like the first episode. I'm not sure how they aired this episode. Like when they came back, whether it was like a two-parter, because some shows do that, where they'll have a two-parter for the first episode, or it was like one after the other week-wise. But like
Mhm.
honestly, these two episodes paired together are like done so well. I'm also gonna give this a 9.
Okay, yeah. I I also want to give this episode a very high ranking, but there is one thing about this episode that I don't know if I mentioned it while we were talking about it,
Mhm.
but it does kind of bother me how long they're drawing out this Lockwood family secret
Oh.
when the viewers obviously already know.
Mhm.
And at this point, it's just like, okay, yeah, you're a werewolf. Just say it, buddy. And
Yeah.
I know it'll probably be resolved like next episode because the episode title for the next one is Bad Moon Rising. And like at what point does it begin to feel a little like slapping us on the head with it, you know?
I think for me, it wasn't that apparent that like even though I knew what they are, like it didn't feel like so overforced because they did not like drag like for me, I feel like they didn't drag it out as much as they could have. Like um I guess what I'm
But
saying.
also, how could they have dragged it out more than they have? Because they've been pretty much dragging their fucking feet the whole time. Like, I like it and I think it's fun, but also for me, it is starting to, at the very end of this episode, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. They're werewolves. I get it. Like, and I know this because obviously I've watched all the other TVDU stuff and
Mhm.
everything, but even when I was watching this for the first time and I didn't know that there were werewolves involved in the TVD,
Mhm.
um, or like that they were introduced right here, even then, I was already like, "Okay, yeah, I get it. I get it."
I think I can appreciate the moments where it's kind of like they like give out little hints and it's like kind of on the nose because I think like, oh, that's funny. Ha ha ha. We all know what's going on. The characters in universe don't know what's going on, but we clearly know. And like,
Yeah, that's just like my only gripe about this episode is that it's kind of dragging its feet. They're like, "Okay,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
get it. It's a moonstone. He becomes angry. He jumps like an animal. Like, come on, let's just go.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna give this episode a 9 because it still fucking slaps.
Yeah.
But that is my one. I wanted to note because I wasn't sure I had said it when we were talking about it. That is kind of my one gripe for this episode here.
Yeah.
So that's just like the one that, like, I don't know. That's the one really thing. This season's starting off strong here, Jord.
Very strong first 2
Nines across
episodes.
the board so far.
And like,
Absolute bonkers.
do I see them keeping up this good streak? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I do see a decline in the near future, especially with how season 1 went, where you would have like 1 or 2 or like really good episodes, and then the next episode to be like, oh, this kind of sucks. This is not that good. And I don't know, maybe that was like just season 1, just them trying to figure shit out and just like, oh, this works, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
But from the record we have, I don't see. Maybe the next episode will be really good, but then I do not see episode 4 being that good.
I like it. I love it. So just so you know, for next week, if you want to watch along with us, always feel free to super do that. Like, tweet us your reactions as you're either watching the episodes or listening to our episodes. But next week, we are going to be watching Bad Moon Rising and Memory Lane. I also will say, Jordan, I was reminded of how much I kind of hate this werewolf slow burn. Oh, wait, I said the word. I'll bleep it. Because do you want to know how many, just coming up, just a cursory glance, do you want to know how many episode titles refer either directly or indirectly to the moon or wolves?
How many?
Because next up, 203 is Bad Moon Rising. Then we have 211, which is By the Light of the Moon. And then we have 214, which is Crying Wolf. You see where I'm going here?
Yeah. How what?
So they really kind of
are they not solving it next episode?
I don't think they do, Jordan.
Oh my god.
Which is why it kind of started to feel annoying to me here. But that's just me. And that's just me and my thoughts here. I sometimes do get annoyed if plots just are kind of... I get annoyed when shows do this kind of big disconnect between what the viewer knows and what the people in universe know.
If they wanted to make, like, drag it out that long, they have to give less clues.
Exactly. Or less obvious clues.
Yeah. Like, they can't be doing that shit for, like...
Wait on the moonstone, bud. Wait on that.
What'd you say? I missed it.
Like, wait on that moonstone bit.
Yeah. Like...
Hold that. Like, it's just wild.
I think in the beginning, right, of season 1, when they, like, had Tyler be underneath the moon, that was, like, very good foreshadowing. And, like, oh, like, but not, like, so in your face. But now that they're being so blatantly in your face about it, they can't drag this out for that long. Like, that's not good writing.
Yeah. It's just...
It's bad development. And I agree with you that if they drag this out, like, if the episode's titled with the moon puns are, like, more just, like, focused on understanding more of the mystery, more of the curse, but we already know, like, what he is, maybe I can let it slide. But if in the next episode we don't learn what he is, I'm gonna be annoyed.
Yeah. I get it. It's just, like, one of my little gripes there.
Yeah.
It's just one thing that I specifically hate. So, hey, Jordan, we're back now. Season 2, it's coming out. We're doing the thing.
Yeah, baby. Follow us on Spotify, you guys. We got 72 followers up there the last time I checked. We're that close to 100. And also follow us on Twitter, because we are like 5 followers away from 100. If you already follow us on Twitter, go call your friend, go text your friend, your closest friend, and then tell them, hey, have you heard of this podcast? I know you probably don't watch The Vampire Diaries, but we can rewatch it together because I've already watched The Vampire Diaries. That's why I'm recommended you this show. And once you start watching it, start listening to this podcast, and also follow them on Twitter. All right, like our stuff, retweet our stuff, get more people to see our stuff, because we are counting on word of mouth to spread awareness of this podcast.
Because Lord fucking knows we have no money to do advertising.
Exactly.
So yeah, share this podcast with a friend who you think would like it. Or also share this podcast with a friend who you think would really hate it. I want,
Yeah.
maybe we'll change some minds here, you know?
Yeah.
Share it
Like,
with a friend who really hates TVD, and then they'll like be hate listening, and then they'll be like, okay, but actually you have made some points here,
yeah.
ladies.
Yeah.
And Brian.
When he's here.
When he's here. Ladies, and actually Pixel is now our new co-host.
Yeah.
As long as she's going to be here for like 3 episodes this season, she'll be a more consistent host than Brian. It's great.
Yeah. I agree.
So follow us on Twitter. We're here every Friday. I try and post it in the mornings. That always doesn't work out, but it's posted every Friday. And like I said, next week we are going to be watching episode 203, Bad Moon Rising, and 204, Memory Lane. I have no idea what to expect from Memory Lane, but I have a pretty good idea about what Bad Moon Rising is about. Call it a hunch. Follow us on Twitter at Afterbite Pod. We come out every Friday. That's it. This is the part where I fade out the music. Maybe should we come up with an actual outro this season, or are we just gonna keep doing the thing where I just like fade out the music or fade up the music and fade out our voices? I know a lot of podcasts I listen to have like actual outros, but I just don't know what ours would be. So maybe our outro is just us consistently discussing how we